Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So it's just shy of noon, 24.0 Celsius, 66% humidity. It is the 14th of July, Tuesday, 75.3 degrees out here. Door's been open for a little while, so that's really the temperature, and my batteries aren't fully charged. Well, let me show you what I'm up to. I told you guys I had some trouble with my garage door. This house was built in 1965, and I think the doors were original. Well, the doors were original. And the cat's on the prowl. What happened is initially the torsion spring, initially one of the cables was frayed and it snapped. When the cable snapped, it let the torsion spring spin uncontrollably, and when the torsion spring spun uncontrollably, it snapped also. So first it was the cable, right, and then it was the torsion spring. So here I am. As a matter of fact, there's the torsion spring right there, and that's where it broke. I looked up and I could get a torsion spring, and with all the description and all that, I could get it over eBay. I was looking at about $70. And then I still had these heavy, crappy wooden doors. And that just wasn't going to work out. So I wanted to upgrade. So these are like $3.28 from our friends at Home Depot. I decided to go solid. These are steel doors, right? And what did I learn when I installed them? First of all, one of the things you have to do if you're going to install the door is get all this rubberized trim crap off. What did I do with the rubberized trim? Get this stuff off, right? Because chances of your old door being within, I don't know, an eighth, a 16th of an inch of the new door is like impossible. So forget it. So first thing you got to do is get that trim off, and then get all the nails out. Because if you don't, what you do is you scratch the door, and if you see right here, there's a scratch. What I did is I got a Q-tip and some Duplicolor paint and dabbed it into the scratch real gentle, and that fixed up the scratch. So first thing you got to do is you got to get the trim off, then you got to get the door off. Now, this garage, this is a 7-foot door. If you look up at the ceiling, you could see the 7-foot door really fills up most of the garage, so to speak. Well, that leads to a couple of complications. And one of the complications is, see how tight that garage door gets to the ceiling? Well, if you have a garage door opener on it, see that metal rail? And you see the garage door opener? Well, what happens is, or what was happening with this particular door, right, it was coming and it was rubbing up against the rail. So for the time being is I took I took the garage door opener out. The garage door was also stripped, right? One of the things that broke. So I got to change it anyway. So I took it out. But even with that, you see, once again, the garage door is up tight and it rubs against the rail. And I really rather not screw up my nice new garage door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop, I think you guys can see it, right, the rail the garage door rides in. Where am I? There we go. The rail the garage door rides in, and you see that little bar there that holds it up. I'm going to drop it down a little bit. So it's going to kind of, oops, where's my finger? It's going to go up here, and then it's going to pitch down as it goes toward the back. I think that'll give me the space I need so I could get the garage door opener back up there, right? The garage door opener can't be pinned right up against the ceiling because, right, you got the rail that bolts here, then you got this, and if you bring it up too far, this starts drilling a hole in your ceiling, right? You don't need that. I did manage to stay with the old rails. I didn't need to replace them. The spacing was good. They were attached properly. I did have to, obviously it had a torsion bar, and I'm going with cables and springs, so I had to change that so I could put the cables and all that crap on it. What else could I tell you about this whole mess? The doors are a heck of a lot lighter. Like, I was able to rock and roll. This is the one for the other side. I wanted to get them both at the same time. That way there are no surprises like, oh shoot, we don't make that anymore. Oh, and by the way, this, and that's who made them. Coldplay. I think the two doors were, I mean, like solid, no windows. I think the two doors were, I think they were $328 each. It was under $800, and then by the time I put the garage door opener in over there, that'll take me to the magic 1,000. The house does look a hell of a lot better with the new garage doors. I mean, this is what the old ones look like, right? Between the chipping paint and everything else. I also went with 4-panel instead of 5. Why? 4-panel's cheaper. And to be honest with you, I really wasn't paying attention. I just ended up with 4-panel. I don't think 5-panel, well, let's put it this way. I know 5-panel really wouldn't have made any difference. One of the other things I could do from a height point of view is if I take that roller and actually move it down this way, I could kind of flatten it out a little bit or move it upward, move it toward the door a little bit. So instead of needing to be sticking out so far because of the curve, I think you guys, am I showing you guys the curve? What am I showing you guys? Yeah, right. I'll be further down here, so to speak, so I don't have to use part of the curve to push it back. So anyway, I probably didn't explain that well, but if you guys ever have to install a door, well, let me show you actually. See how this thing uses part of the curve here to hold it in. Well, if I move that roller downward, right, I don't have to be as deep. Well, having that roller there is what brings the door so close to the ceiling, right? As I move that roller in toward the door, I'll be further away from the ceiling. Looks like I'm fighting all over the place with this thing, like 1/2 inches. So it's just a matter of being careful with that. These doors, they are not as strong as the wood doors. The wood doors are stronger than a garage door opener. These metal doors don't have a tendency to be as strong as a garage door opener. And you say, well, what do you mean, stupid? Well, with a wooden door, if you lock the door, or the door is icy closed, stuck to the ground with ice, and you keep hitting the garage door opener hoping it breaks loose from the ice, what you could do is it'll pull on this and it could bend your door. With these metal doors, they're not that strong. There are things you could do to kind of get around that. Obviously you can put a support across and make it a bit stronger, but do beware that the garage door, if the thing is stuck to the floor and you start pulling on it, you will begin to bend the door there. A friend of mine showed me how he bent his door that way. Where with the wooden door, or particularly the wooden door outside, you can push the button 1,000 times and it's not stronger. It'll just take the abuse. So you have to reinforce it if you're going to go with a garage door opener. The other thing is, if you lock the door, this thing came with a little pin lock affair that you kind of slide the pin here. If you lock the door and you're pushing the button going, duh, why won't it go up? About the 3rd time you push the button, you'll notice that you're getting light along the top there. With both doors blacked out, this garage has no other sources of light except from inside the garage. So probably what I'm going to do 2 things. I'm probably going to put a battery-powered motion detect light in here just for safety purposes, LED type thing. So when I walk in, whether I'm coming in from outside or whatever I'm doing, in case of a blackout, I can get plenty of light. Right? I mean, picture trying to walk through this garage with the lights off. You will get hurt. And knock things over and end up with a big mess. So that's one thing I plan on doing. The other thing is I'll probably, I don't know, maybe have a night light up there, maybe one on the other garage door, a night light over there, LED of course, and perhaps a night light on one of these. LED night lights use less than a watt of electricity, so I can have the night lights on forever and ever and ever and burn nothing. A kilowatt of electricity here costs me about 15 cents, right? I'm burning, with the 3 of them, let's say I'm burning a watt worth of electricity, so every 1,000 hours it costs me 10 cents. So how many hours are in a year, right? 168 in a week, right? 52 weeks, right? Make it 200, so 10,000 hours. I mean, for $10 a year, I can have those lights on forever and ever and ever. If I pick a bright enough one, quite honestly, 1 watt would do. So, all right, folks, I want to thank you all for watching, and I want to thank you for commenting and subscribing. Please keep your feet down. If anybody has to install a garage door and they have any questions, please ask. Sometimes a little question here and there might save you a lot of trouble. By the way, the other thing I really noticed when I was fooling around with the garage door is I figured out where all my drafts are coming from upstairs. I mean, look at this. Right? I mean, look at all that space, and that corner over there is wide open. Right? Plus I got, this is wide open. So just picture how much cold was drifting up there. So this whole exercise wasn't a bad idea, even just for finding that kind of stuff out, right? I have to seal those up. I got to see what's going on. I got to put my hand up there and see what's going on. Hopefully nothing bites me. Then between some spray foam and Typar, I don't know, some rock, maybe sheet metal, whatever. I got to get those sealed up better. One doesn't need that kind of trouble. I think the problem with this one is there's the heating pipe there, and if you seal it up too well, you end up with the, losing heat. The cold, that's the a dark cold corner, and I think what happens is there's a joint in there that freezes easily, so I gotta be careful with that. It doesn't get heat from upstairs, and if it's sealed up and it doesn't get any heat from here, from outside, it'll freeze. The heat will conduct outward, and then she'll freeze up, and I'll end up with troubles, water, so forth. All right, folks, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up, and please, please enjoy all your days. Keep the feedback coming. I read everything. I don't always respond quickly. I'm busy, but I'll get back to you eventually, as you guys could see. Anyway, take care, folks. Bye.